Okay, so this is 6.4, the cosine law continued. So the other way, so we just went over how to find an unknown side. You can of course also use this equation to find an unknown angle. All you're doing is switching around the formula. So if you have your a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A from what we just saw in the previous example, our previous video. If we want to find out what the angle cos A is instead, it's just about rearranging this formula. So what you're doing is you're getting cos A all by itself. Now this whole thing is being multiplied and it's negative, so probably the best thing to do is to move this whole term over to the other side. So you're going to be 2bc cos A, and it's added because it's minus here, so to move it to the other side we add it, plus the a squared equals b squared plus c squared. We're going to subtract the a over, so 2bc cos A equals b squared plus c squared minus your a squared, and then you want to have just cos A on its own, so you divide the 2bc over to the other side. So cos A is equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared, all divided by the 2bc. Okay? So you're just dividing that to the other side. And that's how you get these equations. So it's the same equation, just rearranged. Okay, so if you want to use your cosine law and you're looking for an angle, if you look at your equation here, b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc, you need to know what all three sides are to fill in the equation. So the important part of using this cosine law when you're finding an angle is you need to know all three sides. If you know all three sides, you can use the cosine law to find an angle. Okay, so let's do an example to show. So example A here, we're looking for angle A. To use the cosine law, it has to be a non-right angle triangle, which we have. And we need to know all three sides. We also know all three sides. So this is side A, this is side B, and this is side C. It's important to label them correctly. Remember, you find your sides by looking at where the angle is, and the opposite will be that same letter. Okay, so we're looking for cos A. So cos A is equal to the b squared plus the c squared minus the a squared over 2bc. Okay, from here we just need to plug everything in. So cos of A is equal, our b is 8 squared, our c is 6 squared, minus our 12 squared. Remember that you have to figure out what 12 squared is first before you put in the minus. 2 times your b is 8 and your c is 6. Okay. So 8 squared is 64. 6 squared is 36 minus 144. 2 times 8 times 6 is 96. So 64 plus 36 is our 100 minus our 144 over 96. So it's going to be minus 44 over 96. And this is what cos A is equal to. Now remember that when you're looking for an angle, whenever you want to find an angle, you need to use the inverse function. So to find angle A, You bring your cos over, use the inverse function of negative 44 over 96. So let's plug that into our calculator. So inverse cos negative 44 divided by 96, close your brackets, and it gives you an angle of 117, and if you round it'll be just 117 degrees. So approximately 117 degrees. Okay, let's do example B. So this time we're looking for angle P. To use the cosine law, we need to have all three sides, and you can see that we do have all three sides. So we're using cos P this time. So again, we have different letters. Let's name them. So this will be P, this will be R, and this one will be Q. Okay, so you can see if you look at the cos A, for angle A, side A is right here. The other two values are the B and C, and B and C. So it's going to be the same thing here. So we're going to use the Q and the R. So Q squared plus R squared is going to be minus the P squared. So the P, the A, divided by the other two. So Q and R. So 2 times QR. Okay, so let's plug in our values. Cos P, Q is 17 squared, R is 15 squared, minus P is 14 squared. 2 times 17 times 15. Okay, so let's plug that into our calculator. 17 squared, 289. 15 squared, 225. 14 squared, 196. 2 times 15 times 17, 510. Equal to cos P. Okay, so cos P is equal to, so 289 plus 225 minus 196 is 318 over 510. Remember that when you're looking for an angle, you need to do the inverse function. So cos inverse of 318 divided by 510. So plug that in on your calculator. Inverse cos of 318 divided by 510 equals 51.4. If we round, it'll just be 51. So approximately 51 degrees.